You remember rock bottom, that weird, unforgettable place SpongeBob got stuck in? Creepy fish, raspberry language, and advanced darkness. But what if I told you that rock bottom is still hiding more mysteries? Every time the show brings it back, something changes. There are details that you, me, even SpongeBob seem to miss. But whether it's a glitch, a trap, or a window into something we're not supposed to see, rock bottom might be the strangest thing ever put in a SpongeBob episode. And it starts with the Glove World. The episode begins with SpongeBob and Patrick wrapping up a perfect day at Glove World, ready to head home. When SpongeBob is about to pay the bus fee, he spins around and keeps accidentally smacking the bus driver with his balloon gloves. SpongeBob fumbles for his wallet. Patrick doesn't have change until the driver finally snaps.
Forget it!
What did you say?
Just take your seat!
He lets them ride for free, but he's clearly not happy about it. SpongeBob and Patrick are talking about souvenirs when they realize they're going down to somewhere the sign calls Rock Bottom. Now, Rock Bottom is not just a deep-sea trench. This place has rules. Weird ones. Language is strange, the fish are weird, bathroom labels are confusing, just symbols that look like they were invented by an alien trying to prank tourists. Patrick somehow catches a bus home, but SpongeBob gets left behind. From here on, SpongeBob's luck runs out. He loses his balloon, glove candy that tastes like rubber. SpongeBob keeps missing the bus. Every time SpongeBob steps away, even for a second, a bus shows up, then leaves. He even tries to ask locals for help, but gets misunderstood for asking to get his balloon. He tries everything. Fake bench, cardboard clone, standing in line for hours, only to be cut by a newborn fish. And when he finally gets to the front, they don't understand his accent. He has to mimic their weird raspberry language.
Next bus leaves in 5 seconds.
Too late, again. SpongeBob's alone, nowhere to go, in what he calls advanced darkness. And just when it felt like all hope was gone, SpongeBob hears a noise. A light appears. But it's not a monster. It's that same anglerfish guy from earlier, the one who chases after his balloon. Turns out, this guy wasn't ignoring him, he was helping, with the most bizarre solution imaginable: balloon travel. He ties it to SpongeBob's wrist, blows it huge, and SpongeBob floats away home. And while he drifted back to Bikini Bottom, audiences in the early 2000s were left drifting too. Most people just accepted it as a one-off spooky episode, a strange detour, maybe a metaphor for being lost, or struggling with language barriers, or just some deep-sea weirdness. But the strange thing about this episode is that Rock Bottom doesn't act like anywhere else in the SpongeBob universe. The timing, the language, the way every escape gets blocked. It feels like a trap. Even when you accept the weirdness, one thing keeps bothering me. Why did the bus driver take them there in the first place? Some fans say it was intentional, that the driver is so pissed off by SpongeBob, he purposely ditched SpongeBob there and teased him repeatedly to torture him. Kinda cruel, yeah, but oddly plausible. Still, the biggest mystery wasn't what happened then, it's what happens next. Because after that season 1 episode, Rock Bottom just disappears. No callbacks, no follow-ups, not even a mention. For 17 years, we got nothing. But suddenly in season 10, it came back. And this time, something changed. Because while the first episode just showed us the horror of discovering Rock Bottom, this one finally gave us the answers we were all waiting for. Or at least, that's what it looked like. In this episode, Squidward's art career becomes a problem for Mr. Krabs. And Krabs, being greedy, figures Squidward's paintings would be worth more if Squidward were out of the picture. So we start sending him on deadly delivery missions, hoping to cash in on huge profits. Eventually, that led Squidward on a bus, headed straight for Rock Bottom. When Squidward gets off the bus, things feel just as eerie as before. The sign, the strange symbols, and the locals, still creepy. Still speaking those weird raspberry sounds. Only this time, things are different. SpongeBob's already there, not afraid at all. When Squidward panics, SpongeBob just says, "Oh, they're not monsters, they're my friends." All of them are wearing hats, and suddenly this isn't a horror scene anymore. It's a celebration in Rock Bottom. That's our first clue. Now we know SpongeBob remembers them, and they remember him. More importantly, these fish were never hostile, just misunderstood. This flips the entire season 1 mystery on its head. The anglerfish that once scared him, probably just shy. The locals that ignored him, maybe just had no idea what he was saying. It's a happy ending to this simple explanation, right? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Because one season later, everything breaks at the episode of Night's Patty. Another night, Glove World closes. SpongeBob and Patrick are, again, stranded, hungry, and tired. The setup is pretty familiar. But instead of searching for a bus, Patrick points to the Krusty Krab. The lights are on, it's open, said they should grab a bite there. SpongeBob, the guy who literally works there, looks confused.
Huh? Mr. Krabs never mentioned we had a night shift.
SpongeBob himself, the only fry cook of Krusty Krabs, doesn't remember they had a night shift, which should be our first red flag. They walk in, and it's not really the Krusty Krab anymore. The place is run by a whole different crew, and the cashier is someone named Squidabeth. The place is crawling with nightmare fish, unseen monsters that are nothing like Bikini Bottom fish. It's the bottom sea dwellers from Rock Bottom. Oh, it's a friendly face then. Well, except SpongeBob doesn't recognize any of them, even though just one season ago in Out of the Picture, he literally called them friends. You can spot every same fish from Rock Bottom here. Surely you will recognize some of them here, right?
You sure are popular.
I come here every night.
What? Since when? Patrick says he always comes here, which makes no sense because SpongeBob, his best friend and literal fry cook, has never seen or heard of this.
One Krabby Patty, please.
A Krabby what?
They don't know what a Krabby Patty is. They serve garbage. Sucker shakes, howling rings, even something called the Pacific Garbage Patch. Patrick loves it. These fish love it too. Then they meet Barry Blobfish, the night shift fry cook. There's also a night train rush inside the Krusty Krab. It's kind of the equivalent of lunch rush, I guess. But due to some workplace accident, Patrick has to bring Barry to the hospital. So SpongeBob steps in to help during the midnight rush. Even gets Nosferatu's approval to take over the kitchen. Not gonna lie, that surprises me quite a bit. I'm not expecting Nosferatu as the replacement for Krabs. But now it gets interesting. When SpongeBob tries to serve the real Krabby Patties, they spit them out. To them, Krabby Patties are toxic, which kind of makes sense. I guess bottom sea dwellers eat differently than regular fish. But Squidward also delivered some Krabby Patties before, so they should love it, right? Or did Squidward deliver this kind of garbage too? The next thing that happens is he burns the patties by accident. They turn into black smoke, into literal ghost burgers, and everyone loves them. Just when you think everything is going well, out of nowhere, a fisherman kicks down the door with a net and a hook.
Now hand over the moolah.
Everyone screams. Creatures dive under tables. SpongeBob, the eternal employee of the month, fights him off. Deep fries the guy like a cartoon hero. But apparently, that fisherman guy wasn't a villain. He was just another employee. This robbery, it happens every night. It's part of the show. Let that sink in. The nightly robbery is part of the business model. Soon after, the night ends. The fog rolls in, Squidabeth, Barry Blobfish, Nosferatu, and the fisherman vanish into the mist like ghosts. Mr. Krabs walks in for the opening, looking normal.
Night shift? We don't have a night shift.
Even Krabs knows nothing about it. Tells SpongeBob he must have been sleepwalking, and just like that, the night crew is gone. Then we get the final gut punch.
Mr. SquarePants will never know he has worked a shift in the tidal zone.
I'd like 5 night patties to go, please.
Suddenly, everything clicks, or unclicks. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the tidal zone mentioned at the end, it's kind of a running theme with modern-day SpongeBob. The first concept of tidal zone was introduced in Season 11, No Picture Please, where Patrick becomes a guide for a strange tourist fish who takes a photo of everything and ruins everything. Spoiler alert, at the end of the episode, the weird fish says that he doesn't do anything and everything they thought he did never happened in the first place.
In fact, I'm not even here.
The narrator explains that sometimes in Bikini Bottom, reality doesn't follow the rules, and that's what the tidal zone is. The franchise introduced it as a gag, a parody of the Twilight Zone. The tidal zone is a cosmic framework for all the strangeness in the SpongeBob universe. And now we realize Night Patty wasn't a Krusty Krab story. SpongeBob was pulled into a false version of his world. And Patrick, the one who always comes here, wasn't even real. The ending spells it out. It was a tidal zone version of Patrick. And that's where our real mystery begins. Because if that wasn't our Patrick, then when did the tidal zone start? Was it somewhere between Glove World and the night shift? Or is it even way before? Did SpongeBob spend the whole 18 hours of Glove World with another Patrick? Does the night train have anything to do with it? But then I remembered, both Rock Bottom and Night Patty start at Glove World. Both end with SpongeBob stranded, confused, and questioning reality. Could Rock Bottom, the original, have been part of the Title Zone too? That would explain a lot, like why Patrick doesn't suffer the same fate on the bus. Maybe that wasn't our Patrick either. And that's when our second puzzle piece locks into place, because there's another strange pattern here: public transportation. Every shift into these strange realities seems to ride on a bus or train. In the episode of No Pictures Please, the strange fish comes from a bus before meeting Patrick. Squidward also takes a bus to reach Rock Bottom in the episode Out of the Picture. It could be the same driver that brought SpongeBob in Season 1. So maybe these buses have some magical abilities? The night train and Night Patty could be the delivery system for these shifts. We saw the train also carrying the people of Rock Bottom. Coincidence? Maybe. But now that we know the Title Zone exists, it feels intentional. But maybe there is a real timeline, a version of events where things actually make sense, where SpongeBob and the Rock Bottom fish do remember each other, where the rules are stable, at least for a moment. We get a glimpse of that in Season 12, during SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout. Incidental to 11, the anglerfish from Rock Bottom, the same one who helped SpongeBob escape with a balloon all the way back in Season 1, he's at the party, inside SpongeBob's house. It means they do know each other. They're close enough that SpongeBob invited him to his birthday, not just as a callback for the audience, but as a guest. And for a second, it all fits. This version, the one where SpongeBob recognizes him and he's part of the gang, this feels like the real Bikini Bottom timeline. And the Night Patty is just a weird Title Zone, the one where things finally settled. Unfortunately, just like SpongeBob's luck in Rock Bottom, just when we thought we were getting somewhere with this theory, they hit us with another episode. Season 13, Food Truck. And this is where things go beyond confusion. SpongeBob heads back to Rock Bottom. This time, it's not some accidental detour. It's business. Mr. Krabs sends him and Squidward on a food truck mission. A simple plan: bring Krabby Patties to new markets. After circling around all day with no luck, they spot Rock Bottom on the map. And they just drive straight down that cliff without any troubles. What? It's just a place on the map now? So, okay, maybe this is a grounded return. Maybe we're revisiting Season 1's weird town to clear things up. But nope. This trip doesn't clarify anything. It just breaks the logic even more. When they arrive, the place is empty. Every building deserted, the streets are dead, even the graveyard is empty. As if every dead fish crawled out, or swam out, from their graves. Is this city infested by zombies now? The only person they see is one familiar face. Incidental to 11, the anglerfish from Season 1. So they tried to approach him, but every time they got close, he vanished into thin air like a ghost. Even when they tried to surprise and capture him, his body just got replaced with jellyfish. After a long chase, they managed to talk with him. He says he wasn't calling them at all, he was just drying his armpit. Yes, that's the explanation we get. But get this, he's interested in Krabby Patties. In fact, he seems tempted. Just when they thought they made a sale, the bus came again, crashed into their truck, and dropped off the whole population. Suddenly, Rock Bottom is full again. Everyone's back, in broad daylight, like it's an annual festival. Apparently, this is an annual event. They love Krabby Patties, they line up for them, they laugh, they party, they eat, and when night falls, they don't go home, they sleep in coffins. Yeah, you heard that right. Their homes are underground crypts. So, what are they? Are they alive? Undead? A third category we don't even have words for. But at least this confirms the Rock Bottom we saw in Season 10 is the real one. The one where they enjoy Krabby Patties. Except it doesn't hold up, because neither of them recognize each other in this episode, not even incidental to 11, the anglerfish who helped him escape back in Season 1. If they were friends, wouldn't he notice him? Also, surely SpongeBob would know something about this place if he came here often. And it still doesn't explain Night Patty. In that episode, he didn't recognize anyone either, even though they're the exact same fish. Is the timeline swapped? Did Night Patty happen before Out of the Picture, or even before Rock Bottom? The deeper we go, the less it makes sense. Maybe all of these episodes are just symptoms of the tidal zone. It might be the only thing that explains how rock bottom can exist in 2, 3, maybe infinite versions at once. Now that we've mapped the timeline and stacked the contradictions, the only path forward is through the tidal zone itself. Is it a physical location? A state of mind? Or even the writer's playground? And does Glove World have anything to do with it? We're halfway between analysis and confession now, like trying to solve a maze that keeps changing behind you. What started as a one-off, creepy episode has become a recurring glitch in the foundation of the show itself. But maybe the real answer is simpler than that. If the tidal zone is a rift, a tear in reality, then maybe rock bottom is somewhat close on the edge of it. Each time SpongeBob gets close to rock bottom, the reality shifts. Harder to remember, harder to recognize what's real. But the truth is, there's one question that still ruins everything. The one we don't know how to answer. If the tidal zone is already there since the very beginning, what if SpongeBob never really made it out of rock bottom? What if that balloon in Season 1 didn't lift him to safety, but dropped him deeper into the tidal zone? What if every return since then is a continuation? Maybe that also explains why SpongeBob always resets every episode. Or maybe it's inconsistent writing. Who knows? So yeah, that's the best answer we've got. Or maybe there isn't one. Maybe rock bottom is just a loop in time, trapped in a show that keeps reinventing itself just enough to stay familiar and just different enough to feel wrong. Because if you've been paying attention, this isn't the first time SpongeBob's world has changed. The characters, the rules, even the animation itself, they don't stay the same for long. And sometimes it's not just a style change, it's a clue. Watch our previous episode every time SpongeBob changed their animation style and ask yourself, was it just a new look? Or was it a new layer of the tidal zone?